Imagine if a huge part of the land breaks and falls into the sea, and 100 feet high waves wash away entire cities, or a supervolcano blast drops the world temperature so much that we enter a new ice age, or a poisonous monster buried under the ice wakes up whose heat destroys every corner of the world. This is not a science fiction story, but natural threats which can end human life in a single stroke. Today we will talk about 4 sleeping natural disasters present on the Earth itself which have the full capability to destroy the world. According to scientists, the arrival of these natural disasters is confirmed, but when? First of all, let us talk about Doomsday Glacier. Although its name is Thwaites Glacier, but why is it called Doomsday Glacier, you do not know. It will be known later. We all know that the sea level is rising day by day and new problems are arising for humans, but how big the upcoming challenges will be and how much time we have left, all this depends on this Doomsday Glacier. This glacier located in the west of Antarctica becomes more than 1 kilometer deep at many places, that is, it is deeper than the height of Burj Khalifa. Apart from being deeper, it is spread up to 120 kilometers, which also makes it the widest glacier in the world. Spread over an area of 192,000 square kilometers, this glacier is so big that 318 cities like Mumbai or 50 cities like Karachi can fit inside it. For the last several years, this glacier is melting much faster than the whole of Antarctica, which has increased the sea level by 4% so far, but the most dangerous thing is its location. Thwaites Glacier it is a small part of the entire West Antarctic ice sheet, but its melting is associated with the danger of the entire ice sheet melting, due to which the sea level can rise by 3 meters or about 10 feet in the coming years, and this is because the Thwaites Glacier is located right in the middle of the West Antarctic ice sheet. Experts say that the entire responsibility of the West Antarctic ice sheet is on the Thwaites Glacier. If it is not stopped from melting, then it will submerge the entire West Antarctica, due to which the seawater will rule over the cities present on the shore. Among these cities, the names of cities like Mumbai, New York, Jakarta, Bangkok, and Dhaka come on top. If seen in this animation, this is the Antarctic ice sheet. It is also very deep in the middle because the snowfall falling for centuries has been making it thick in the middle. As it is becoming thicker in the middle, the glaciers are also getting thicker due to the weight. Glaciers moving out towards the Antarctic Ocean under which there is water are called ice shelves. Global warming is heating both water and air due to which the ice shelves of both sides are melting but at different speeds because in the east of Antarctica the land level is above the ocean. That is why water does not reach the glaciers and the ice melts slowly here. But West Antarctica is different. Most of its part is below the sea level. This means that water can go under it and weaken it further and melt it faster. This is the reason why West Antarctica is considered the most important part of ice in the world in terms of climate change. To understand it properly, look at the survey map of the land beneath Antarctica. In its east the land is higher than the sea level, which is shown in red and yellow color, whereas in its west the land is shown in blue color. All of this is below sea level, as shown in color. In particular, this dark blue part is the lowest, and this is where the Doomsday Glacier is. Currently, this ice shelf is hanging above the water while the ocean water beneath it has hollowed it out. Every passing year, its pieces break off and mix in the ocean, and the ocean water is hollowing it out from below. If we talk about the period from 1992 till now, then during this period, the ocean water has hollowed it out up to 14 kilometers. If the matter continues at this speed, then this entire glacier will break and fall into the Antarctic Ocean. The Thwaites Glacier has already raised the sea level by 4% in the last 30 years. In case of complete melting, it will raise the level of all the oceans by half a meter. This time is probably not far because researchers have already found a very big crack in the Doomsday Glacier, which is now beyond anyone's power to stop. The question is not whether the Thwaites Glacier will break or not, but the question is when, and as you have known earlier, this thing is an invitation to a very big disaster. West Antarctic ice sheet can give this. There is no doubt that after this happens, the process of melting will be triggered in this ice sheet as well, which will increase the ocean level by 3 meters. In case of this, coastal cities will have to be evacuated suddenly. According to the survey of Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the cities which will come under its purview, currently more than 1 billion people live there. When all those people move to higher areas, then the economic imbalance of the whole world will be seen. Apart from this, rapid changes will be seen in the weather of the whole world, in which dangerous tsunamis, hurricanes, and floods will become very common. Now let's talk about Yellowstone Super Volcano. Yellowstone Super Volcano is inside Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming State of America. It is an active volcano system which is one of the biggest and most dangerous supervolcanoes in the world. Yellowstone is not just a small mountain that can erupt, it is a supervolcano which is filled with a lot of magma, i.e. molten rock. If it erupts, its effects will not be limited to America only, but the whole world will have to face devastation. Yellowstone is inside a large caldera which is about 70 kilometers long and 50 kilometers wide. This means that it is like a giant crater which was formed after an old volcano eruption. Experts believe that this supervolcano erupts once every 6 to 7 lakh years. The last time it erupted was about 640,000 years ago, and before that a big explosion took place 13 lakh years ago, and before that 21 lakh years ago. Looking at its past record, it would not be wrong to say that Yellowstone supervolcano can erupt any time in the next 60,000 years. If Yellowstone supervolcano erupts, its effects will not be limited to just one country. Rather, it can easily engulf the whole world. It will destroy any city within a radius of 1,000 kilometers in a single stroke. Due to the explosion, it will release gases like volcan ash and sulfur dioxide in the air, due to which the climate of the whole world will change. The clouds of ash will be so dense that sunlight will not be able to fall on the ground for the next several years, due to which the temperature of the earth will fall. This phenomenon is called Vulcan's winter. Crops will stop growing and there will be food shortages all over the world. Even those who survive will be affected by diseases. Due to the presence of sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere, the rain will not be in the form of water but in the form of acid. According to reports, if Yellowstone erupts today, at least 70% of the world's population may be wiped out. Now comes the turn of Cumbre Vieja Volcano in Africa. 700 miles away from the northwest coast are the Canary Islands of Spain. This island, named La Palma, came into existence 40 lakh years ago due to the Cumbre Vieja volcano. This volcano is still active and can become a big threat to the world. During the last 60 years, volcanic eruption has created a fault line and crack in this island, which can be seen even in Google Earth. This crack is 6,000 feet above the sea. The scientist present above says that if a big eruption happens, the damage caused by the lava is one thing, but a big part of the island can fall into the sea. Geologists believe that if the fault line cracks completely, stones weighing about 500 billion tons will slide at a speed of 250 kilometers per hour and fall into the sea. Due to this landslide, the water of the sea will jump up to 1 kilometer and fall, which will start a series of tsunamis that will leave their impact on every corner of the world. Experts have named it a mega tsunami. These waves will travel up to 4,000 miles in every direction of the sea, in which Europe, America, and Africa will be badly affected. Waves more than 100 feet high will go deep into the sea and even coastal cities. The volcano of La Palma is a time bomb. It is a huge tectonic plate that can burst anytime, and its impact will not be limited to the Canary Islands only, but the entire world can come under its influence. But because the inclination of this slide is towards the west, it is being understood that the east coast of America, where Miami and Orlando are located, will be affected the most, and if the cities are not evacuated in time, then the mega tsunami can take lots of lives. And now finally let's talk about permafrost. 11% of our world is permafrost ground, that is, the part of the land whose temperature is less than 0 degrees Celsius for 12 months of the year. Permafrost is mostly found in polar regions, which includes half of Canada, 2/3 Russia, and the Tibet Play. Most of the permafrost in these was in this condition for millions of years, but not anymore. There is an active layer above the permafrost layer, which freezes in winters but melts back in summers. Below this layer, there is an active layer. The layer of permafrost remains below 0 degrees Celsius throughout the year. Because of this, permafrost acts like a deep freezer. For millions of years, plants, animals, and microorganisms remain frozen and reserved in this permafrost, whose decomposition process does not start. But due to global warming, the active layer of permafrost is getting deeper every year, and animals that are thousands of years old are emerging from here in the same condition as they were at the time of their death. When permafrost melts, the organic matter present in it starts melting, bacteria start eating them and release methane gas. Experts believe that 4 times more carbon is trapped in permafrost than the pollution in the world today, and it is slowly spreading in the atmosphere. When so much greenhouse gases come into the atmosphere, the average temperature of the world will increase by 8 degrees Celsius, due to which glaciers will melt. The supply of fresh water in the world will be disturbed. Due to the melting of glaciers, the level of seas will rise up to 5 meters, and such changes in weather will be seen, in which it will become impossible for humans to live near the equator. Most people think that melting of permafrost is a disaster coming in the future, but in reality this disaster has already started. Every year the active layer of permafrost is getting thicker and thicker in different parts of the world. The living proof of this is the Batagaika crater in Siberia, which was formed due to melting of permafrost and sinking inside the ground, and is now getting bigger every year. If the process of melting of permafrost continues like this, it is not in anyone's hands to stop it. Otherwise, in the next 50 to 70 years, 70% of the world's permafrost will melt if fossil fuels are eliminated today. Even if this is done, it is impossible to stop the permafrost from melting. Hopefully you will like and share this video.